Hi, in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to set up a new employee within QuickBooks. Now, some people may need this because they're using QuickBooks as their payroll processor, and others might want to just set up an employee just to have basic information on their employees within the QuickBooks database. Either way, you can use this tutorial to help you set them up right along inside your system. Okay, so the first step is you're going to want to access the Employee Center. Now there's three ways to access the Employee Center. One way is from the home screen, which I'm in now, and you can click on Employees in the bottom left. You'll see that I've highlighted it. Or you can go into the Quick Access toolbar right here and click Employee Center. Or you can go into the regular toolbar, go down to the drop down menu and click Employee Center. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to access it via the Quick Access toolbar. Now once this comes up, you'll notice that on the left hand side there's a list of names, which would be your employees. Now if you want to look at all your employees, you can go all, or you can go ahead and select that you only want to see the active, or you want to see just the released, which are the people that you've terminated. Now again, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and only select active employees. Now you'll notice on the right hand side you'll see summarized information about each employee, such as their name, address, an email address if they've provided you one, any notes that you may have, whether they're just reminding you of something regarding this employee or personnel notes. There's also phone numbers, and then you even have an attach area for those of you that are 2010 users or higher. In the attach, I'd suggest or maybe even recommend attaching maybe their I-9 or their W-4 or any type of employee documentation that you can think of, just so you have it all within your database. And then you'll notice down below that these are copies of their paychecks if you are indeed cutting paychecks out of QuickBooks. Now, to create a new employee, what you're going to want to do is select New Employee up here in the left-hand corner. Now, within the first window, you're going to notice that this is their personal information window. So you're going to want to go ahead and enter their personal information, such as their name, social security number, whether they're male, female, and their date of birth. And then you're going to want to click on the first tab and enter their address and their city. And again, you want to enter their phone numbers, cell phone, fax, whatever it is that you have for your employees. Now for additional information, this would be if they have an employee identification number. If you're going to bill your customers out based on a billing rate for this employee, you're going to want to enter that here. Now once all of these tabs are entered, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and select the Change tabs and go into your payroll compensation information. Now in this tab, you're going to want to set up how they're going to be paid, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, type of taxes you're going to take out. This is going to determine how this employee is going to be paid from here on out. Now, if you're not using the payroll service, there's no need to go ahead and do this part of the tutorial, but if you are using the QuickBooks as your payroll processor, you're going to want to use this. Now, in the item name, what you're going to want to select is whether their salary, hourly, however you have your payroll set up. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to hit hourly. We're going to put that the rate is $15 an hour. You're going to want to go to payroll schedule, and you want to say, hey, they're going to be paid weekly, bi-weekly. Now, some of you may already have this set up, some of you may not. So what we're going to do is go ahead and set this up, and we're going to say it's bi-weekly, which means that they get paid every other week. And that's exactly what we're going to call this payroll schedule, is the biweekly payroll. Now some employees might want to say salary payroll or hourly payroll, whatever you want to name your payroll schedule, it's completely up to you. I just put biweekly just for my benefit. Now, the next question is, how often do you want to pay your employees? Again, we want to do it biweekly, but you'll see by the drop down that there's several selections, just depending on what works for your business. Okay, and the next question is going to be, what's the next pay period end date? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to put that the payroll end date is going to be the 30th. Now, it's asking you what date should appear on the paychecks for this payroll or this pay period. So let's just say that you want the paychecks to be dated on the 31st or on the 30th for the 30th. Then you would enter that here. Okay, and then you hit OK, and now that's set up. Okay. Now, if you have a class that you want to set up, such as maybe different stores or locations, you can do that here as well. We're going to go ahead and select Bayshore Store because that's who this employee is going to be under. Now, if you want to select timesheets, if you want to use timesheets for your payroll, especially for your hourly employees, you're going to want to select to use time data. And this basically lets you create a timesheet based on hours that this employee worked that will merge into their actual payroll within your payroll schedule. Okay, so in here you would select any deductions that this employee has, or any additions, or any, like, let's just say 401k contributions, anything like that. So for this sake, we're going to say that we're going to pay them commission. And we don't have a limit or an amount that we're going to set for commission, because as you know, commission's monthly. I'm sorry, per pay period or monthly, or however your payroll schedule is set up. So we're going to go ahead and leave this blank for now. Now, if you have a limit, let's just say that you're saying your employee can make up to $10,000 a month in commission, you would want to put the $10,000 limit here, so they will not be paid anything other than that. Then this is where you're going to set up their taxes. So their W-4 gets handed in, or whatever tax document that you use, and you're going to put what their filing status is. So we're going to say that they're single, that they have 3 allowances according to their W-4, and they're going to elect to have $50 in additional monies withheld out of their paycheck. And again, all this information will come from the W-4. And then we're going to go to the state, and we're going to tell them what state that they worked in. They work in Florida. And Florida is not subject to state withholding. But let's just say if it was, you would go ahead and put your state and what your withholding would be in the necessary fields. Now in the other tab, it's going to of course ask you, if something's not found, it's going to give you that warning. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and get on Other. And on the Other tab, you're going to go ahead and see that there's other items that you can select. So if there's any training or anything like that, any other taxes, anything that you need to take out regarding taxes, maybe they work half a year in another state or anything like that, it would be within this tab. Hit OK. And then you're going to want to select whether this person has sick days, vacation days, are you accrual on your days, or do you just get a certain amount of days. So what we're going to select here are, as of 12/15/2013, there will be 40 hours available to this employee. They have not used any in 2013. And they accrue every paycheck a quarter of an hour for a maximum number of hours of 60. Now each new year we're going to select that they're going to reset their hours, which means they get to start all over again. And then you just continue on through this process, set up their sick time, their vacation time, and everything based on your company policy. You're going to want to hit OK. And then the next selection will be direct deposit. Now, I don't know if you offer direct deposit to your employees or not, but this is very cutthroat. All you do is enter in their ABA number, their account number, and the name of their bank. For the sake of this tutorial, I do not have direct deposit set up, so I'm not going to be able to show that to you. But again, it's just basic ABA routing number, the account number, the name of the bank, and of course how much they want to put. Do they only want to put $50 in, the whole check? It's completely up to that employee. Then you're going to want to hit OK, and that employee is now set up. As you see, the name, the address, the phone number is all there. There's no paychecks because we haven't cut this person a check as of yet. Now, if you wanted to edit another employee, maybe an employee changed their election or they got a raise, you could do so by clicking on the employee, then right click, hit edit employee, and then you can change whatever information it is that you need to change. So let's just say that for the sake of argument, this person's getting a pay raise from $40,000 to $50,000 a year. They're on semi-monthly. They're in the Bayshore store. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and now that person's pay is in there. Now for the sake of my use, I'm going to go ahead and put in the notes that on today's date, they earned a raise. So that way I know within my notes that they got a raise, and when they got a raise, and how much raise they got, just so I can quickly reference that information. And again, here's the notes. And that's how you set up a new employee and edit an employee within QuickBooks. If you have any questions, please comment or go ahead and email me, and I'll be glad to answer your questions, and check out our other videos. Thank you for visiting.